Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the chemistry class. And today I will continue the chapter atomic structure. Last day we discussed up to the atomicity of molecule. Today we will start from molecule. All of you know, already we have discussed about molecule. Okay. The smallest unit of a compound is called molecule. Okay. And it exhibits all the properties of that compound and has independent existence. Like if you think about water molecule. Or we can write H2O. So here this molecule is made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Okay, but if you consider its elements like hydrogen, oxygen, okay, they are gas, but water is liquid. So their properties are different. But if you think about HCl molecule, okay, in case of HCl molecule, here it is made up of hydrogen and chlorine. Okay, if you break it, you will get hydrogen and chlorine. HCl is gas. Hydrogen, chlorine both are gas. Okay, so here the states are the same. Okay, so we can tell that the constituent elements property and molecules property may differ. Okay, and every compound has its own specific characteristics by which we can identify that compound. Okay, and molecules can be broken up to its constituent elements by some chemical changes. If we think about HgO, that the mercuric oxide, and if we apply heat, definitely it will form, it will break the molecule. By heating we can break this molecule to Hg mercury and oxygen gas will be produced. Okay, or in your book it is written that mercury atom and oxygen atom. Actually oxygen will exist as O2 and you will get mercury. Okay, first in heated condition you will get vapor. So, and this is a red compound, the color of this compound is red. Okay, it will be dissociated. And the same way, if you pass electricity to the acidulated water, suppose here H plus is present, acid is present, and you are passing electricity, then you will get hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Okay, so in this way you can break the molecules, okay, by chemical changes. Hope you can understand. Next we will go to the radicals. Now what are radicals? A radical may be a single atom, okay, or a group of atoms of different elements that behave as a single unit and with a positive or negative charge on it. And radicals are generally two types. One is called basic radical and another is called acid radical. And when the atom or group of atoms contains positive charge, okay, and are also called anion, they are called basic radical. If the atom or group of atoms having the negative charge on it, okay, and called anions, okay, they are called acid radicals. Okay, now if I give some example, then you can easily understand, like Na plus, K plus, Mg2 plus, these are all metal ions. Okay, they are generally basic radicals, and only one non-metal is there, non-metal basic radical, that is NH4 plus. Okay, and what will be the acid radical? Acid radical example we can give Cl minus, NO3 minus, okay, Br minus, OH minus. So basically these are non-metals. Okay, so generally non-metals bearing the negative charge, they are behaving as acid radicals. Okay, so whatever I told here, that radicals are two types. One is basic radicals, another is acid radical. Okay, And in case of basic radical, they are generally cations, and acid radicals, they are generally anions. Hope you can understand. Next, generally ionic compounds are made up of two types of radicals. Okay, we can think about sodium chloride. In case of sodium chloride, okay, it is made up of Na plus and Cl minus. So Na plus is the basic radical and Cl minus is the acid radical. Generally it is the convention. We always write the positive charge at first, that means basic radicals at first, and then we will write the acid radical. Hope you can understand. We can give another example like magnesium chloride. Here magnesium 2 plus is the basic radical, having 2 Cl minus, these are the acid radicals. Okay, so in this way, in your book there is chart. That chart you have to remember and you have to practice. Then you will be able to write the chemical formula or compound formula. So then I will discuss about the valency. What is valency? Valency is the combining capacity of one element with the other elements. Suppose if I give you one example like water. Here oxygen is combining with 2 hydrogens. So valency of oxygen is 2. Oxygen valency 2. But hydrogen is combining with only 1 oxygen atom. So its valency will be 1. Hope you can understand. Like we can think about another example, that is ammonia molecule. So here nitrogen valency 3 and hydrogen valency will be 1. Because nitrogen is attached to 3 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so valency of nitrogen will be 3, but hydrogen is attached with only 1 nitrogen atom. Okay, each hydrogen. Okay, that is why its valency will be 1. And next we will discuss the radical valency. Okay, generally in case of radicals, the charge is their valency. Like Na plus, sodium plus, its valency will be 1. Magnesium 2 plus, its valency will be 2. Aluminium 3 plus, its valency will be 3. In this way, you have to remember, like ammonium plus is a non-metal basic radical. Okay, so its valency will be 1. Here charge is the valency. Okay, like iron, when it is in plus 2 state, then its valency will be 2. Copper, when it is plus 2 state, its valency will be 2. So charge is the valency. So these are the basic radical. In this way, one chart is there for acid radical. That also you have to remember. Like OH minus, this is called hydroxyl. Okay, or hydroxide, and its valency will be 1. Cl minus, this is called chloride, its valency will be 1. Br minus, this is called bromide, its valency will be 1. NO3 minus, this is called nitrate, its valency will be 1. NO2 minus, this is nitrite, its valency will be 1. But SO4 2 minus, this is called sulfate, its valency will be 2. SO3 2 minus, this is called sulfite, its valency will be 2. CO3 2 minus, carbonate, its valency will be 2. HCO3 minus, this is called bicarbonate, its valency will be 1. PO4 3 minus, this is called phosphate, its valency will be 3. So in this way, one acid radical chart is there. You have to remember this thing also. Okay. And next we will discuss variable valency. variable valency. From the name you can easily understand variable means not fixed. So there are certain radicals are there or elements are there, okay, which exhibits more than one valency. They are called, they have variable valency. Like we can give iron may be in +2 state or it may be in +3 state. So this one is called ferrous and this one is called ferric. So lower valency is called As and higher valency is called Lig. Again we can take another example, like copper +1 and copper +2, and this is cuprous and this one is cupric. Okay, another we can give Sn +2 and Sn +4. This one is called stannous and this one is called stannic. Okay, like pambas, pambic, okay, Pb +2 +4, these are called variable valency. So that also you have to remember. If you are able to remember the valency, then you can easily write the formula of any type of compound. Okay. Next, to remember this valency, we have to know about the little bit of periodic table that is given in your book. Okay. So first I will show you one periodic table. So this is the modern periodic table, and you will get this type of periodic table in any book shop, okay, or in any paper shop you will get. Okay, these are the modern periodic table. So in this periodic table, first you have to know what is periodic table. So periodic table is a systematic arrangement of 118 elements. Okay, in vertical columns and in horizontal row. There are 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal rows. Okay, and according to the increasing atomic number. So here, from here to here, the atomic number is increasing. So they are placed in the this table. Okay, according to their increasing atomic number. Hope you can understand. And each column of elements, suppose these are hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Okay, their valency is same. Okay, and their property is also same. Like this one, carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Okay, their valency is same, as well as their property is same. Okay, but the properties will vary in a period from left to right. When you are going from left to right, properties will vary. Later you will be able to understand. So now here you have to understand one thing, that this row, this means this horizontal row, these are called periods. Okay, and these vertical columns, they are called groups. Okay, and in your level you only try to remember up to calcium, that is 20 elements. Okay, and from this periodic table you have to understand about the valency. Suppose here group 1 and period 1, there is only 2 elements, hydrogen and helium. So in group 1, this is group 1, hydrogen is placed. Okay, its atomic number 1. After that helium is there. Okay, and next lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. So here this one is 1A, group 2A, then 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, and this one is the 0 group. Okay, now here you see group 1, its valency will be 1. Okay, so that means lithium, sodium, potassium, all valency is same. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, all valency is same, that will be the 2. They have 2 valence electrons. Later you will be able to understand. Now you remember the group and its valency or valence electron. Okay, and next this group 3, that means boron, aluminum, so its valency will be 3. Carbon, silicon, its valency will be 4, and nitrogen, phosphorus. Okay, here total number of valence electron will be 5. Later you will be able to understand. So here you have to remember that valence will be 8 minus 5. Okay, that means here valence will be 3. And in case of oxygen it will be 8 minus 6, it will be 2. In case of fluorine it will be 8 minus 7, that will be the 1. And in case of this noble gas, that means helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, they are not generally forming bonds. Okay, and so their valency will be 0. Okay, hope you can understand. Here you see properly. So this type of periodic table you have to purchase and you have to paste in your study room, and every day you have to see this periodic table, okay. And from this time, if you make habit, okay, to understand the periodic table, then when you go to class table, it will be very easier to remember this thing. In this way, you have to remember the valencies, okay, from the position of the elements in the periodic table. Next, we will go to the molecular formula, that is most important, or chemical formula. Chemical formula of different substances, okay. Actually, each compound is represented by a formula, okay, is known as chemical formula or molecular formula with the help of its valency and different radical symbols, okay. We can give one example like sodium chloride. Sodium chloride we are representing in this way. Formula is NaCl, okay. Here how to write this formula? Suppose here sodium and chlorine is given. So first you write the symbol of sodium, Na, and then chloride is there. Chloride symbol is Cl. Now we have to write the valency. Sodium valency is 1 and chlorine valency is also 1. So then you have to interchange the valency. You have to write that NaCl, okay, that will be the molecular formula or chemical formula. Actually, in case of NaCl, there is no molecule concept, there is concept of crystal. Later you will be able to understand. Now in your level you can tell, okay, now this sodium chloride is the chemical formula, okay, that we are representing at NaCl. Next, another example we are taking that for writing the formula of magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride. So magnesium chloride, first you will write magnesium. This is the basic radical, and chloride, this is the acid radical, okay. So magnesium is Mg, chloride is Cl. Valency of magnesium you have to remember, that is 2, and chlorine is 1. Then you have to interchange the valency and you will write here MgCl2. So MgCl2 is the chemical formula, okay, of the magnesium chloride. So in this way you have to practice the formula writing. If you are not able to write the formula, then you cannot write the reaction, chemical reactions also, okay. And then we will, in the next chapter in language of chemistry, we will learn about the balancing of chemical equation. First you have to read the formula. First you make one chart in your study room, okay, paste it on the wall, that the acid radical list, basic radical list, and write their valency side by side and try to remember. Suppose if I give you aluminium chloride, what will be the valency of aluminum chloride? First you write aluminium and here you chlorine. Aluminium valency is 3 and chlorine is 1. So interchange the valency. So you will write here AlCl3. But if you think about the calcium oxide, calcium symbol is Ca and oxide is O, okay. So its valency is 2, Ca plus 2, and this one is minus 2, O minus 2, okay. So it is also 2. So here if you interchange, we are getting Ca2O2, but this is not the formula. So what you have to do, you have to reduce the valency to the lowest ratio, okay. So you have to divide this by 2, so then you will write the formula of calcium oxide will be CaO. Next I can give you another example like aluminium nitride. Aluminium nitride. So aluminium valency will be 3 and nitrogen valency will be 3. So definitely here formula as it is divided by 3, okay, all the 2 valence is divided by 3. So you have to take the ratio. Also its formula will be ALN, not ALN 3 and 3. So this is the correct formula. So in this way you have to practice the formula writing, okay. And next we will discuss the significance of this molecular formula. Actually this molecular formula represents one molecule of a compound, okay, and it indicates the number of each kind of atoms present in one molecule, or you can tell the ratio in which the atoms are present in one molecule. In your book a list is given of different molecular formulas of different types of compound that you have to practice and you have to remember, okay. And in this way, if you practice the writing of molecular formula, then you can easily able to learn chemistry. So learning symbol first, then its valency, then writing molecular formula, then writing the chemical equation, and finally the balancing of chemical equation is very important to learn chemistry, okay, for proper learning in chemistry. If you do not able to write chemical formula, okay, and chemistry will be very much difficult for you. So hope you can understand, and you please practice the writing of molecular formula. In live classes also I will discuss more, okay, about the writing of chemical formula, okay. So today up to this, thank you.